this morning, the protests demanding police reforms may have simmered, but people continue to call for change. And this morning, the families of police officers are asking to be involved in discussions before any decisions are made. Emily Nimps takes it one day at a time.
We are the silent majority, but I believe that we need to speak up and use our voices for law enforcement officers.
Her husband, Benjamin, was killed in a crash July the 21st, 2019, while serving in law enforcement in Florida. He planned on moving to Indiana to join Emily and their two children. Now Emily has become an advocate for families and those in public safety.
They go out daily knowing that they're going to see things that they're going to carry with them for the rest of their lives, and they do that for the love of their community.
We spoke to Emily and Greg Pitts on Zoom. Greg's brother, Rob, was a police officer in Terre Haute, killed in the line of duty on May the 4th, 2018.
We need to stand up and have a voice for our officers.
Both Greg and Emily condemn what happened to George Floyd in Minnesota. Both oppose the call to drop the qualified immunity, which protects officers from certain lawsuits.
I realize that with any occupation, you're going to have one or two bad apples here and there, but you can't deem a whole profession by just what a few people do. And the good officers out there that are doing their jobs every day, you know, they don't agree with what these bad officers are doing.
Whether you want to call it a reform or a modification, however you want to say it, you are taking away the officers' ability to properly and safely do their jobs, and not just that, their families. You are now asking them to risk the livelihoods of their families at home.
The Lafayette police chief wants to see more research on the impact of any potential changes to qualified immunity before there's a rush to judgment.
I wouldn't want a bad police officer operating on our streets, whether it's in my department or any other department.
While politicians and protesters weigh in on the issue, the families of Benjamin and Rob remember their sacrifice and their public service. The Indiana Association of Chiefs of Police have weighed in on this issue, expressing concerns about making any changes to qualified immunity without ever being at the table to have the discussion. Indiana Senator Mike Braun did propose making changes to qualified immunity and withdrew his plan. His statement in part to WRTV6 says, "I am not going to push this bill further without input from law enforcement."